So it's true. You scattered the goblins. Peace can finally return to this corner of the Sword Coast. Thank you. As am I. And I'm sure those poor refugees would quite agree. Of course. May you keep balance.
am I to do?
What to do?
Speak. Chook, you believe you can survive without me? As you say.
You wish to speak? I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say. Hopefully. I've chosen a successor as first druid. Francesca of the High Forest. I sent a bird to summon her. Precisely. Who indeed? You do not know, and neither do any of the others. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oakfather's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence. Indeed. Precious little, but I'm quite certain it can still be found. It's had the whole region around Moonrise Towers in a chokehold of darkness and despair for years now. Those who remained are shadow-cursed. If you don't die at their hands, then you become one of them. We have to get to Moonrise, but the less time we spend in its blighted surrounds, the better. Those illithid creatures threaten the natural order. It's my duty to do what I can to stop them. There's also the Shadow Curse. It's an affront and must be cleansed. I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his Dark Justiciars years ago, but I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. If I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse, just as you find a cure for your infection. Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath. What Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I studied the Shadow Curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source. Perhaps, but we'll need to get closer before I can put my theory into. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said. Precisely. Then perhaps I could have done something about both the Shadow Curse and Ceremorphosis aberrations. But in my eagerness, I put far too much faith in the abilities of Aradin and his band. We didn't even get close. Miss it? Oh dear, no. It's a terrible burden. Takes you away from nature. And be wary of anyone who actually wants such a role, I say. Likely they don't understand it, or they have ill intent. I'm just glad to be out here amidst the Oak Father's creations. Wonderfully. If I'm honest, the Grove was too comfortable for my tastes. I felt I'll miss my books, that I can find all the wisdom they contain out here, firsthand. I'm sure something will come to me, given time. With such stimulating company? Never better. You wish to speak? Precious little. But I'm quite certain it can still be found. It's had the whole region around Moonrise Towers in a chokehold of darkness, and those who remain. We have to get to Moonrise. But the less time we spend in its blighted surrounds, the better. With such stimulating company? Miss it. Beware. I'm just glad to be out here amidst...
Speak. It is done.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. If we managed it, we'd have a specimen of incredible rarity on our hands. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
Come on, then. Don't leave me in suspense. How are you feeling? No errant tentacles? No sudden cravings for a more cerebral diet? I was rather more curious to know what benefits the tadpole might have bestowed. No doubt the benefits of your change in diet will become apparent soon enough. Was there another matter you wish to discuss? Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone. An eruption the size of Waterdeep, I think my exact words were. Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's Folly. For a spell, Mistral was reborn as Mystra. Upon her return, the Weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mystra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls. I know what it is to hunger. And I know what it takes to keep that hunger under control. He's done that so far, despite his condition. So long as he sates his appetite elsewhere, I'm happy to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't think there'll be any more trouble between Lae'zel and I, if you were wondering. We can all sleep easier now. Well, apart from all the rest.
You have an interesting definition of friendly, but yes.
I was. He mentioned Dark Justiciars, and we've come across other signs of Asharan presence during our travels. I'm not sure I can dismiss that as a coincidence. I'm sure you do, but please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely.
Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shar, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? Curious. Most are afraid of my lady. I think I did well by joining you. Most agreeable company. You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Selûnites tell. What, besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant? It's nothing to laugh at. Save your questions if that's how you're going to react. No, I can't. I mean, I literally can't. There's certain things I can't remember right now. Shah's secrets must be preserved above all else. All who worship her know this. I have had certain memories suppressed, voluntarily, so that I can serve Shah without compromising her. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored. Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed.
On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, I never expected Ceramorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it. Well, perhaps you have a point. Fine. Let's explore these powers then. I just hope we don't...
Well, no tentacles yet. I suppose we can consider that a success. It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire. People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen. Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers. If we can convince the right people to talk.
There's no time to waste.
eager for battle.
No rest for the wicked, I see.
Vlaakith's will be done.
Gone gods. Watching you consume that tadpole was more disgusting than the tadpole itself. Though, I suppose that's not what you wanted to talk about. He brings to mind a story. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think? Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost will be too great. Take a single step towards him, and he'll dog you the whole journey. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything. Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Zariel's own, Chaos Incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. All right. What else is on your mind? A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means. My father once said, so it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the cook. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. And it's nice to meet someone of your talents. Having a worm with you as my ally, the future looks a little less daunting. I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious. But once you've taken a Illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. I appreciate where you're coming from. Truly, I do. But these parasites are quite literally Illithid weapons of war. And I'm not so certain they won't be turned against us upon consuming them.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Your compliments earlier. We'd only just met.
Seize the day, I say. More now than ever.
Careful you don't pull a muscle in your haste.
What's that?
Something tore right through these people. They didn't stand a chance.
Beast reeks of brimstone and offal. Every breath is thick with blood. You hear what comes next before you see it. The sharp snapping of bones, and a yelp of pain as her body starts to twist and undulate. You watch with cold realization. This isn't the end of one life, but the start of another. Gnolls, vicious, monstrous humanoids can spawn from the corpses of dying hyenas. Bones snap as the hyena is hollowed from the inside out, forming a vessel for something new. Her belly splits like a rotten fruit, birthing a frenzy of claws and fangs.
Time to strike. No time to waste.
Watch it. That hyena is going for help. Very well.
A rough tempest I will raise on my way.
On my way.
Swift and lethal.
Gone with the weave.
Take this!
Don't get too close.
Moving.
dice roll in my favor. Let's light them up.
My path be true.
Where do I go from here? Victory is assured.
Got to press on.
Survival is all that matters.
Creator, destroyer. Indeed.
What should I do? Seems simple enough.
Time.
season.
Let's move. The smell of blood will draw trouble.
Let's see what this does.
How can I help? Quite ready for you.
can't afford to stay idle.
Enough waiting. I crave blood. You recognize the feathered creature. It's the owlbear cub you rescued. The cub's eyes lock onto the food in your hand.
The hand that feeds is the hand that's loved. It'll never leave your side now. I stand corrected.
Take you! Take you!
My faith will guide me.
Take you! Take you!
No one's stopped me yet.
There's something I want to talk to you about. something important. I could have died in that pod, back on the Nautiloid. You could have died, spending precious moments trying to free me, but you did it anyway. I owe you my life. Twice over, in fact. You supported me against Lae'zel. I may not have survived that night without you. I'm trying to say that you've earned my trust in a way very few ever have. I want that to mean something. I want you to know more about me, at least from what I can remember. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shar, I've wished to serve her as a Dark Justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shar, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shar's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. I don't know. Perhaps if I succeed in my mission and reach Baldur's Gate. Hope has little place amongst Lady Shar's children. It's an illusion, a distraction. For this, I hope my time will yet come.
Fine. What's on your mind?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problem.
Whatever killed those gnolls might be nearby. Careful.
This is the devil Will has been tasked to kill.
Me? Never been better. Oh, fuck me. It's you, from the Nautiloid. Please tell me I found you before those so-called Paladins of Tyr did. Nice of you to ask. Lately, I've gotten used to being called Devil. No follow-up questions. The truth is, well, it's a long story, and I'll tell it, but...
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood. The Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that? Not by choice. I'm a good skull crusher, but I never wanted to serve Zariel. From that peek I got into your head, I'm not the only one with problems on top of problems. A mind flayer tadpole, huh? And no joy getting it sorted as of yet, I see. I'm Karlach. And you are? Well met, soldier. Now that we're old pals, how would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? A little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good at killing demons. Really good. So good, Zariel, the Archdevil herself, made me her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. Took me 10 years to properly escape, but now I'm free. Zariel sent goon after goon to hunt me down. But believe me when I tell you, I'm not going. The latest yappy little dogs she sicked on me are nearby. A group of dopes posing as Paladins of Tyr. Want to help me take them down? Fuck yes. They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. After we've mopped them up, we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good?
I like her. She looks like she could throw me over her shoulder and carry me to safety. Should the need arise.
I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. Hang on, though. Looks like you got enough backup at your side. Not sure there's room for me. I'll catch up with you when it's time to camp for now. But don't get to any of the fun stuff without me. Got it?
Karlach's got the... Best of all, she speaks her mind, plainly and fully. Show her due respect. Shook, you believe you can survive without me? A practical choice. Shook, as you say.
Yeah? Trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail. Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love demons, on the other hand. Every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Fuck yes.
Don't be shy.
Suppose you've any clue where we are in relation to Waterdeep?
From this distance between Elturel and Baldur's Gate, I'd say a long way away.
It will make getting word to my mother rather tricky. No matter. What she doesn't know can't hurt her. All this distance anyway.
Keep that beast away from us, you hear?
Me, the beast? Now that's fucking rich.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home.
There's something in the squint of his eye. You suspect he's lying.
Enough! Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
Onward.
Time to push my luck again.
Cut it out. It's worse than Knowles out there.
Nothing we need to worry about.
How about a dragon? Would that worry you?
I'd give it a bloody good fight, that's for sure.
That's easy. You're welcome to rest here.
Ready for another round? Want another?
Breathe deep and move.
Let's go. Under their noses.
The witching hour. Good move.
Can't afford to let up. On my way.
Another fight. Let's go. On my way.
Fuck them. Fuck Zariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. That's right, she won't. She can't. She couldn't even lay a finger.
That corpse smells ripe. Enough time for its keeper to have moved on.
That ought to do it.
That might be worth a look. Your desire.
Eat this!
What's next?
At least things have stayed interesting.
Felt good letting off a little steam after facing off with those Ignots. Granted, the fire lasted a little longer than it should. Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down. High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when the first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him. A weaponsmith, huh? Not sure if he's the guy. What can I do you for? The year, Tenir. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, she put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, and start making up for lost time. But not today. Soldier?
What's on your mind?
Hiya.
That might be worth a look.
I'm way too big.
Lost in thought.
And which part of me is supposed to fit in there exactly?
Oh, I could go for a good meal. place is hungry for blood. This'll be fun. Something's happening, but not enough something. Hotfoot, place is trapped. Hotfoot, place is trapped. No joy. Looky!
Step carefully. There's a trap. All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Damn, it's good to be alive.
No time to rest.
Easy. This place is hungry for blood. What's cooking?
Ready and willing.
Let's move. Step carefully. wish I had a bag of holding.
Soldier.
one with the weave.
Let's get on with it.
Let me work my magic.
Can't give up now.
The road to Baldur's Gate is a long one. Who knows how long it'll take these folks to get there on foot.
If they make it. They're slow, vulnerable. Half or more will die long before Basilisk Gate.
Doesn't seem to trouble you a jot.
What good would it do for me to be troubled? We can't save them all.
That should work.
It'll take a while for us all to recover. Of course. May you keep...
book is locked tight with no visible keyhole, only an oval recess in the cover's mouth. You try to examine the book, but the longer you stare, the more those piercing amethyst eyes draw you in. You can sense something dark about this tome. Something profane.
Curious. Why don't you take a closer look? I'll observe from back here.
Please don't open the creepy book.
As you look into the book's amethyst eyes, you can almost hear a voice. You just have to open the book, and it will be yours. Forever. You can sense something dark about this tome. Something profane. The book's pull is irresistible. You feel changed, bettered for having opened it. Suddenly, you are capable of anything. Felling mountains, darkening glyphs shift gently before your eyes. Words slip into your mind, onto your lips, forming words you don't understand. And something is trying to reply. The symbols dart beneath your eyes, warping and twisting. Your head throbs, but you almost understand. The world around you is gone. You can only see those glyphs. You feel claws moving in the shadows. They pull at you, dragging you closer. The glyphs scream, branding your mind with strange runes. You see time rewritten, fate undone, your future thrumming with power. The book snaps closed. You've seen too much. What profane knowledge is now seared inside of you you should never have known. You've seen much of the book, but its most powerful secrets are guarded by indecipherable glyphs. Without a key, they may be locked away forever.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems... It's not too deep. Just behind the orbital socket. You only have a matter of days to live. Don't dally, my friend.
Bodies everywhere. Accident or sabotage?
Take you.
Down. Leave the heroics to them that don't value their own skin.
No choice but to keep going.
Let's do this.
The shock of psychic pain, the pack leader's mind clamps onto yours. You see yourself through her eyes, a pulsing red cluster of organs. Feast. No. The voice has forbidden this meat. Gnolls see your whole world as a meal. This voice is acting as a leash, but it won't hold them for long.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Deep in the chaos of her mind, something responds to your command. A tadpole. It is the source of the voice. She will obey it. She will obey you. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
Weighty-looking chest. What treasures might that be?
Well, there's only one way to know for sure.
What's on your mind?
Looks empty.
looks empty.
She is still ravenous, her mind a hungry pit. The flesh of the survivors wasn't enough to satisfy her. She resists, her mind's teeth piercing your brain. She severs the connection and prepares to attack.
we should help. Don't be a fool, lad. Shut your mouth and keep your head down. Leave the heroics to them that don't value their own skin. Swords meet sorcery.
Let's hope there's smoke powder inside.
something useful.
With a shock of psychic pain, the pack leader's mind clamps onto yours. You see yourself through her eyes, a pulsing red cluster of organs. Feast gnaws your whole...
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Watch this.
I speak, they burn.
Forthwith.
What's the plan? Take your
I can't even catch my breath.
It's go time.
By the gods, you're a sweet sight. Are any of my crew still alive out there? This whole journey's been one grim sight after another.
Risen Road's more dangerous than ever. You're the first friendly face we've seen since Eltergard.
We're bound for Baldur's Gate. Got some cargo to deliver. But we've a stop to make along the way. Waukeen's Rest. It's just up the road. I'd be enjoying a mug of ale right now if those beasts hadn't jumped us. Listen, you look like you know how to handle yourself. You should meet my associates. We've got our own drinking spot by the tavern. Invitation only. Tell the fellow on the door. Little Serpent, Long Shadow. He'll take good care of you. Aye, the whole reason we're in this mess. Trinkets for some rich tosser in Baldur's Gate. He gets his shiny baubles. We get a handful of Tarenths.
Tarenths are the currency of the Zhentarim, a network of merchants and mercenaries with few scruples.
You know who we are. Very clever. And you probably also know it's not smart to interfere with Zhent business. This is the point when a clever lad like you accepts my gratitude and walks away. Fine. No need for more violence. I'll tell my associates everything was lost.
The chest's all yours. Damn thing's sealed tighter than a duke's purse strings. So there's no point in trying to open it.
And no hard feelings, you hear? I'd have done the same if I were you. Business at the end of a blade is still business.
Ruthless bastard like you could make a name for yourself in the Zhentarim. Make sure to drop by our hideout.
Well, it's our lucky day after all.
That symbol in the blood. What does it mean?
What's that? I'll be glad when we're out of this bloody cave.
Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive.
With a
That's
flick of the
lucky.
wrist.
Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive. That's lucky.
Come on, open up.
Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive. That's lucky. Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive. That's lucky. Well, lad, it's our lucky day after all.
I don't feel lucky.
The rest of our crew's half digested, and you're still alive. That's lucky.
Looks empty.
Looks empty.
Which way to the nearest library?
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
A long way to go still.
One Horn! The stink of Avernus! Advocatus Diaboli!
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Karlach! The Archdevil Zariel's gladiator. Come to burn the Sword Coast to ash.
Well, not counting the fuckers that need a good hurting.
Shut it, devil! I know your kind. A heart darker than a shadow's nightmares. You'd cut a child's throat just to taste the blood.
A devil? I didn't take the blade for a fool. I'm...
A great fire roars through you. The fire of the first hell. You are Karlach, tearing through demons across a blood-red landscape of fire and volcanic cinder. The front lines of the Blood War. With every swing of her axe, Karlach fulfills Mistress Zariel's purpose.
Proof! Clear as summer sky. It's over, Karlach. It's time you feel the sting of the blade.
I've tried to tell you. I'm not what you think I am.
Another vision. Karlach's blade rays slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Will shudders with Karlach's desperation. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
By Balduran's helm, No! I will not be tricked!
You saw the truth. I may be an effective soldier, but I never wanted to serve Zariel. Legged it away from her the first chance I got.
And yet you served.
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
No! Devils cannot be trusted!
You know monsters better than anyone. Can't you look in my eyes and see I'm not a devil?
You don't know what this means. You don't know what you're asking me to do.
I'm asking you to live, Will. I don't want to hurt you. And to be frank, I'd rather not find out how the Blade got his name. I swear to you, on all I am not what you think.
Shit! Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce. I see the good in you, Karlach. I promise not to lose sight of it, even when the hells burn hottest.
Glad Will saw sense. Even more glad he decided to stick around. Takes a pretty slick mover to track down old Karlach. Same. Now, instead of a liability, I've got a friend. Or I will have soon, anyway. What's on your mind?
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. It means that a reckoning's coming. And I'll be the one to pay up. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me. The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
Take you.
No time to dally. Take you. Take you. Take you. Take you.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
God damn it. Anyone but her.
Well, You absolute stinker! You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlach's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. The point? Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you.
Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands.
Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Warlock pets tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
I deserve that. Consider me properly shamed. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds, but I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact.
I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. Well met. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. I'll accept the flattery either way. I suppose I'll grow used to the new me. Horns and all. The people will see a curiosity. Maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters. Keep them safe. And one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again. A possibility that's kept me awake countless... But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. She could kill me for one, and that's not the worst of it. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet. Well met. I think that I can't say I'm not curious. But once you've taken a Illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. I appreciate where you're coming from, but these parasites are quite literally Illithid weapons of war, and I'm not so...
You wish to speak?
Nothing like a little camp drama to spice up the evening. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun.
Good thing for Will that Karlach called a truce. A tiefling that mighty would shred him to pieces and burn. Now... mark my words. This power would be no... You might as well consume all the gate tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven. Perhaps you... No, that's absurd. When the tadpole has stretched to every pore and it won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My faith in Vlaakith will guide me, and my own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power. You're wasting your time and mine. The answer is no.
What's on your mind? We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got... But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Things can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic round here, right? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you? I can picture you getting mixed up in some outrageous shit. Giants. Maybe once we've wrapped up the current shenanigans, we'll rest a bit and find some new heap of troubles.
Seems like Will and Karlach will play nice from now on. Saves us having to pick sides.
Dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth.
Thank goodness that's all dealt with. The odds are stacked high enough against us already. No need to turn on each other.
The cub pecks at a crimson splash on his leg. The cub looks at you with glistening eyes. With a sad hoot, he holds out his paw, revealing a wound. As the wound closes, the cub begins testing his weight on the leg.
You do realize these things grow, do you not? Teeth and talons first.
Camp life seems to suit the young owlbear. His coat of feathers seems fuller. His eyes look bright and inquisitive.
Smoke. Something's burning.